first off, a lot of people are probably asking the question, are you related to Polly?
I am. I'm a distant cousin to Polly, yes.
Oh,
and
right.
I can't say I really know her. I've met her a few times, but I do admire her because she always looks at things from the angle of the people at the sharp end and the people who are most disadvantaged, and she's been plugging away for decades now, and I'm quite proud of her, actually. Yeah.
Good,
yeah.
good. Right, well, the subject that's on most people's hearts here is the NHS, I think. So maybe you'd like to tell us about what you would do to save the NHS.
Yes, I agree, and talking to people on the doorsteps, and today in Hightown, that nearly always comes up as people's top concern, the NHS. And whatever the government has been saying, the last government has been saying, people can feel, they know about the waiting lists, they know about the overcrowding, they know about the understaffing, and they're sad. They're not just worried, but they're sad because this is our precious institution that we all love. And personally, I'm very worried. If this lot get in again, I'm worried because we know what will happen. It's already started, outsourcing of more and more services to private companies who are just hovering, waiting to pounce to see how much money they can make out of us. And that's really worrying, and I want to put a stop to it. And if I'm elected as your MP, I'll be in there, in the opposition, scrutinising everything that happens, whether it's Labour, Conservative or whoever it is, because we've got to protect the NHS. It's our most precious institution.
And related to that, of course, is this horrible TTIP.
Ah, TTIP, yes. I'm really glad that people are talking about TTIP because last year it was a rather obscure thing that nobody had heard of, and now it's getting more and more into the headlines. And it needs to be brought out into the open because it's being negotiated behind closed doors, and frankly it's a scandal. It's a trade agreement between the EU and the USA, and it's designed to make life as easy as possible for giant corporations. Will remove more and more regulation. They don't have to have such high standards for their food production, their animal welfare, trading agreements. And the most frightening bit of it is that the giant corporations will actually be able to sue governments if we, the people, stand in their way when they want to make profits out of us. And I think if people knew more about it, they would be absolutely scandalised. We've got a great Green member of the European Parliament called Molly Scott-Cato, and she's working really, really hard in Brussels on this. So I urge everybody to find out about it. And if you Google TTIP, Russell Brand, George Monbiot, there's a really nice little film on YouTube about that.
Finally, any other little issues that you sort of get asked about in a lot?
Yes, a lot of it does boil down to public services. Obviously everything's connected: health, education, transport, farming, especially somewhere rural like Herefordshire. Obviously I'm green, so I'm very in favour of public transport, and that's something I think we need to invest in. How are you supposed to be able to go to work if you live in a village and there's no bus service and you haven't got a car? So it's really important, and also of course it would reduce congestion, it would reduce pollution. On the headlines of the national news yesterday, every hour, was all this stuff about it being a high pollution day in the UK. It's beautiful to live in Herefordshire, we're very lucky, the pollution isn't too bad. But the fact is that when we have a day like that, we're all breathing in poisonous particles. And, you know, whether or not climate change is happening, that's irrelevant in a way. The fact is that we're polluting our air, we're polluting our water, and only the Green Party is really, really fighting to protect it, to protect the environment and our health, because they're one and the same thing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.